Hello and welcome to the third session of SSO Digital Week Europe. You're here joining me, Jordan Mullins, the head of editorial at SSON, as we explore a number of themes among digital transformation on today's topics. So today we're going to have a case study on forging customer centricity in sales, looking at how intelligent document processing at thyssenkrupp Materials Services has helped performance. I'm going to introduce our speakers in just a short moment. I do want to do a little bit of housekeeping beforehand. Firstly, if you have any questions throughout the session, you can do so by submitting in the Q&A box in the top left-hand side of the screen. Secondly, if you'd like to connect with our speakers, you can do so by clicking the LinkedIn button on the top right-hand side of the screen with the LinkedIn button available. Lastly, we have a number of resources available for you to download. So the top two are looking at applications in procurement to pay, as well as AI. But then also you can download the presentation slides from today and learn more about our sponsor, Insiders Technologies. So that's really everything from my side. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce Dr. Anna Conrad, the head of Process Automation Hub for thyssenkrupp Materials Services, and Jana Vandenberg, the Business Development Manager for Insiders Technologies. Jana, Anna, please take the stage.
Yes, thank you, Jordan, for the introduction, and welcome everyone. My name is Anna Conrad, and I'm here on behalf of thyssenkrupp Materials Services to tell you about how we use intelligent document processing in sales to support our company's mission, which is to make a customer's success our top priority and become the go-to partner he needs to shape the solutions of tomorrow. And this has been and still quite is a journey. So I hope to provide you with some insights today and show you what makes the solution we have in place and the partnership we went into with Insiders Technologies so special for us and how it contributes to our global success. So for those of you who do not know thyssenkrupp Materials Services, I can tell you that we are one of 6 business areas of thyssenkrupp, which is an international group of companies comprising largely independent industrial and technology businesses. We generate global sales of 34 billion euros, whereof Material Services contributes around 12.3 billion euros to group sales. And today we are very proud to be the largest materials distributor in the Western world with more than 15,000 employees who work in over 30 countries all over the globe. And our business area makes sure that customers, and there are over 250,000 of them, can concentrate on their core business, while we, Material Services, focus on 2 main areas of activity, which is one, the global materials distribution of approximately 150,000 products, and 2, several customized services that are part of our strategic transformation called Materials as a Service. And I just mentioned a keyword here, which is transformation. And this is something that is also very important for the department where I work in within Material Services, which is the Digital Technology Office. And we are a unit of digital pioneers and innovation enthusiasts whose mission is to provide digital solutions into daily business. And in this context, we understand digitization as a business strategy and not just an IT strategy. Our goal is not only to meet customers' needs, but also to exceed them. And in order to do that, we work hand in hand with our customers. And we consult, we develop, we implement, and we even run the solutions most of the time that we offer. And when I say customers, I mostly speak of our internal customers, not the 250,000 of them that I mentioned earlier, but basically colleagues of mine who work in sales or logistics or procurement or in any other department within one of our affiliated companies. And as part of the product portfolio within the Digital Technology Office, we create solutions, for example, in the areas of data science and analytics, resulting, for instance, in supply chain optimization by pattern recognition or like transportation improvements through network simulation. And aside from these, we work on customized solutions whenever there is a use case that shows promise to be successful by the implementation or by the integration of a website or an app, meaning like rather small and specialized sales solutions, for example, or internal tracking apps. And the third, and in addition to the two ones before, the third area that we focus on, and the one I currently am part of, is the one dealing with all kinds of process automation. And this is not process automation on the shop floor or anything, but rather digital process automation, meaning we look at business-related processes and we offer various solutions in order to increase both the effectiveness as well as the efficiency in our colleagues' daily work. So repetitive and manual tasks will be replaced by more valuable ones, and our colleagues gain more capacity that way. And eventually they are able to concentrate on the most crucial work, which is to take care of their own customer or any other important stakeholder, depending on the department they work in. Okay, so not only is my very own department, the Digital Technology Office, highly customer and service oriented, but so are my business colleagues that I just mentioned. And they put customer centricity at the heart of their daily work. And this is especially true for sales, which as a materials distributor that we are, has a high strategic value, as you can imagine. So with the goal to eventually free up resources for more value-added activities regarding their customers, my colleagues and I decided to start an efficiency journey right there at the sales department. And while we performed the more general activity analysis in the beginning, we quickly realized that great potential in the inquiry and order process, because this process was, and it still is, heavily based on emails and documents that are being exchanged between customers and responsible sales representatives. Of course, we have online shops for B2B and B2C customers in place, but still quite a few inquiries and orders, they are forwarded in written form, meaning emails and with or without attached documents, they are being sent from one party to the other day after day. And what this also means is that an employee needs to open the inquiry, needs to understand it and transfer the necessary information manually in the subsequent system. And in case of sales, this is an ERP system that we have in place. And this process, obviously, this takes quite some time, and not only depending on the type of inquiry or the knowledge of the sales representatives to understand the inquiry, but also on the subsequent system, the information has to be put in, which sometimes can be a bit slower than you would desire, for example. So from an efficiency perspective, the order intake process was clearly the area with high potential that we wanted to tackle first. And when screening the market for suitable assistive technologies, we realized the technology or the solution we wanted to have in place has to do two things. First, it should reliably extract data from the emails and documents we receive. And second, use that data to support our sales reps in the necessary process. And these two factors, they led us to solutions using optical character recognition, or OCR, as a technology in general. But more precisely, it had to be a more advanced solution for us that does something with the information extracted by the OCR, which would really support our sales reps in the data input process. And this is how we found out about smart data capturing solutions, and we went to search for a suitable provider of this. And I mean, of course, we wanted to increase efficiency here, but whenever trying to do so, we are having customer centricity in mind. And for us, this also meant we did not want to change our customers' behavior regarding the way they place their inquiries and orders. For example, by forcing them to shop online or build API connections with us. So as I said, we have these things in place for the customers who want to use them, but for everyone else, we wanted to let them keep their very own way of asking for and ordering material. And so when we started to look for a company who could provide a smart data capture solution, we came across, and I guess you can imagine we would not be here today if this was not successful. We finally met and we decided to partner with insiders. So when we talked to them about our needs in the beginning, we realized they were the ones knowing what they were doing. But of course, we did not only rely on their promises, but we rather did a proof of concept first to make sure. And this one delivered very promising results. And so with a very fair pricing model on top, which is, in my opinion, important in general, but in particular, if you do efficiency-related projects, we decided to partner up with Insiders Technology, and this has been the right choice ever since, I can say. But I think Jana can tell you a bit more about Insiders Technology. So.
Yes, of course. That's where I might just jump in and tell you a little bit more about Insiders and what we offer in the area of smart data capture or intelligent document processing. So maybe I'll start off with a few words about Insiders. So our general claim is to drive process automation. And we clearly believe that technology, and especially AI, is the key enabler to do so. So for more than 20 years now, we scan the market, we scan research for current developments, and we implement the most promising ones to continuously drive improvements. And we've come up with a large set of standard products that drive process automation. But today we want to focus on intelligent document processing or smart data capture and on the corresponding platform SmartFix. So SmartFix is literally the basis of all our products centered around intelligent document processing. And it comes with a huge set of capabilities that enable our customers to understand incoming content, to classify it, to enrich it with additional data, and to feed it then to subsequent systems. And what we usually do in a project, and we did this, of course, also with Thyssen, we combine these different capabilities in a very individual mix. We also extend them, and then we try to meet exactly the needs of our specific customer. And I believe what's very important to mention is that on the one side, we of course have a large set of standard products for the most common kind of documents that you all know. So we are able to process invoices or order confirmations, identity documents, or orders, as it was the case for Thyssen. But what's also very important to mention is that on the other side, we have the possibility, and we are very flexible to meet individual customer requirements by relying on SmartFix and the technological toolbox underneath. So we will come back to this second part later on during the presentation. But first of all, I would suggest to focus on the order processing case and on how this project came to fly. And with this, back to you, Arne.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you, Jana. So what we did after the proof of concept that I mentioned before, we decided to pilot Smart Order, and Jana already mentioned it. This is Insider's solution for order and inquiry processing. And we did that at a certain sales office, which was the one with the most digital progress at that time. And to create a solution that our colleagues in sales could and also would work with, we had intense exchange with our business process experts, as well as consultants from Insiders Technologies several times a week. And the version of Smart Order we created was not the basic version, like an out-of-the-box version anymore, but already customized for our rather special but also very frequent business needs. For example, regarding the possibility to take care of material processing like cutting or foil coating. And this has been an intense but also fun time back then, because in the end, all of us together, we were able to create a great solution, and we rolled out this solution shortly after in several other sales offices. And we did share training sessions together with insiders for many of our colleagues in Germany, and of course, things had to be adapted and corrected here and there, which we were not aware of before. I mean, this was a completely new solution for everyone. Beyond that, a kind of interface between different systems, and not everything worked as it does from the beginning, but teamwork led us to where we are today. And I can say we got it working very, very well now. And more group companies got interested after the first implementations for this specific group company in Germany. And well, they went in line for their own implementation too. So you might have guessed it already, we're quite satisfied with Smart Order today. And it's a very important and successful solution for us. And nowadays, it's not only rolled out in all sales offices of that one group company in Germany, but rather it's a more global solution. And it's currently used in 10 different group companies with more than 80 sales offices in 9 countries and available in 5 different languages. So in total, we now have over 200 colleagues enabled to work with the web verifier. This is the interface that users do the verification of the extracted data in. And more than 25 million line items have been processed by a Smart Order in the last fiscal year alone. And compared to the manual process that has been existed before and it still exists, using Smart Order means quotations and orders can be created up to 70% faster, which also means customers get an answer to their inquiry in way less time. And that's another hint at our customer centricity. And on average, the inquiries that are processed in Smart Order, they are processed in about 80 seconds. And this only refers to the ones that appear for verification. We also have automatically processed inquiries for which we have set a target ratio of 30% internally. And although we might not be there yet, we are definitely like on a good track to achieve our goal with our ongoing activities. And speaking of these activities, the numbers you just saw, they were not the same when we started our implementation, of course, but they are rather the result of intense and ongoing teamwork between our business colleagues, Insiders Technologies, and our team in the digital technology office. And for all of us, Smart Order is not just a software you implement and you leave it as it be, but rather a solution worth investing and developing further because there's so much potential in it for us. And so we did not stop after the go-lives and rollouts, but we've established a weekly, I'd call it the development circle that concentrates on 2 aspects. And the first one here is we want to make Smart Order better from a technical standpoint. And right now, our focus lies on automatic or the no-touch processing, since most efficiency can be gained here. And to improve that, we started different things. For example, we implemented a temporary team of expert business colleagues to focus on customers with the potential to become a, let's say, like a no-touch customer. And this was a great experiment and was very successful because with verifying of like non-standard documents like inquiries, it's sometimes like, and maybe I'm exaggerating here, but it's like too many cooks spoil the broth. So meaning you might get better, you might get better results if fewer people are working on things. And when we did that, we did not want to be guided by our best guess, but we wanted to be supported by facts. So since the analysis tools that Insiders provided back then, they were not efficient for what we wanted to do, we went on a brainstorming session with them. And what resulted from this brainstorming was our very own in-depth Power BI report, which gave us the possibility to do real deep dives into the analysis of fields and their verification results, and both like from a top level perspective, as well as down to individual customers and their inquiries.
Yeah, I might just make a small comment here once again, because I could not stress more what Arne just explained. We at Insiders believe that transparency on your KPIs and on the little turning screws you can turn to boost automation is really the cornerstone of any optimization. So you need these numbers. And we also made a big step forward in the last year. So we came up with a completely modernized performance measurement and management tool. And yeah, I don't want to give you a product presentation here for sure. But if you're interested in these kind of tools, or especially in Smart Act, I can warmly recommend to watch the video of this year's AP Automation Summit. I think it's also linked in the resource center, where we gave a presentation together with our customer BASF on the use of Smart Act and its potential. And I think it's all clear that implementing such a tool, it's not only about numbers, but we want to be very clear on that. We are a technology company, but we know that technology is not an end in itself. It's always the human technology or the human AI interaction that makes these kind of projects a true success story. So maybe Anna, you can tell us a little bit more about the human factors or the emotional factors of this project.
Absolutely, I can do that, because next to the technical improvements we are concentrating on, there is a second aspect our team deals with, which is to improve smart order in terms of like a more emotional aspect, I would say. And this one is also very important because it can help with the acceptance when doing such a technological implementation, because you have to make sure to integrate the solution in the employee's daily business and make it at least like a bit fun to use. And so we created individual splash screens, for example, that depend on the season, like you see here for Easter or Christmas. Or we also changed the Web Verify's design and gave it like a little thyssenkrupp corporate design blue paint, so users would feel more at home, so to say. And both these things, they were very easy to customize, and sometimes it's just the small things that lighten the mood and reduce the resistance here. Because, however, of course, you should only allow yourself to play around with something like the splash screen, for example, if you have another rock solid solution in the first place. Because if you don't, users, they won't accept it and they won't just like it. And well, as you can imagine, not everything went smoothly all the time. And I already mentioned that before. Of course, we also faced some challenges here. Because since changing an established process has such a huge impact on one's routines, and most people, they have an aversion to change in general, we had to think of change management when planning the implementation of Smart Order all the time. And when you do a project like this, when you change the existing processes, there are always different thoughts and opinions. Some people, they want to try out new solutions as quickly as possible. Some are a bit more skeptic, but open-minded. And others, they do not want to change at all. And in the end, you have to work with all of them and get them on board, because such a solution is only successful when there are users who support it and who see the sense in it. And that's, by the way, that's what we try to deliver all the time. The value this solution brings for our customers, and that's the 250,000 I was talking about before, and the company in general. So everyone sees why they should use Smart Order in the first place. Another challenge was related to user training, because first we did several site trainings, traveling from one sales office to the other, teaching the key users who were responsible for the solution at their site. We basically followed the train the trainer concept here. But as all people are different regarding the pleasure of trying something new, as I explained, so is the time they need to understand a new solution and learn how to use it. So this is why, next to the mandatory trainings, and when like COVID-19 happened to all of us, we had to do all of them remotely suddenly because all employees were working from home, we created FAQs. We did some short videos, and we wrote support documents for users so everyone could learn at their own speed. And maybe one more thing worth mentioning here with regards to challenges is customer support. Because, of course, there can be issues, especially when the amount of people who use the solution increases. And so to handle this, we tried different methods of customer support. We started with support via email and included our own IT support, who use a ticketing system, like many others of you guys probably do. However, we did not only want to react to people's issues, but also want to be proactive, like in a more modern way, and share information about upcoming downtimes, for example, beforehand. And this is why we created an MS Teams support community. So key users always have a place to contact us directly, and the other way around, when there is an issue that might need immediate attention. And another benefit of this is that key users, they can talk to each other and they learn about fixes for their issues from another user, for example. Well, and in addition to the organizational challenges that I just mentioned, there were and there still are some technical ones. For example, we have to guarantee system availability across all our companies. Remember, we are no shared service organization, but we are rather a solution provider for various internal clients. So with Smart Order's web application and some kind of interface, it relies on so many things like the access from anywhere within the own TK network, the exchange of data between mailboxes, ERP system, the SmartFix server itself, and well, also the different hardware setups the users might have. Remember, we have different clients, different organizations. They're all the users of our platform. And then there are things like server upgrades, which sometimes can be tricky and might disrupt the smooth process and login. So all of this is nothing you cannot overcome. You just have to be aware that these errors can happen in general, and have a plan on how to fix them when they occur. And one more important technical challenge we faced is about the diversity of our customers' inquiries. Because if you remember how many customers we have from one of the first slides, and I already told you about that, that's 250,000 customers for all of our group companies. We do not have Smart Order implemented at all of them, but the biggest ones are using it. And so you can imagine how many different styles of inquiries and orders we get. But in partnership with insiders, we had adjusted the recognition to work for all different types and specialties that are part of the inquiries. And well, in comparison to other areas of smart data processing, like invoices, for example, in our business, there's no real standard that you might find the same information on every inquiry you get. And that makes it kind of special and challenging. And furthermore, in most cases, there's not something like a unique identifier for the material we sell or we provide, like a EAN number, for example, that we are all accustomed to with many products in our personal life. So this all means the complexity is quite high in our business, which makes the creation of an adequate solution for processing inquiries and orders very, very demanding. And well, I hope I made it clear, we are very satisfied with the use of Smart Order and its development over time at thyssenkrupp Material Services. And well, kind of naturally, because of that success, we thought, let's not stop there. Why not use the same technology that we know how it works for other document types that are floating around? And the ideas, they exist within our business because we know that people who saw Smart Order, they came to us and asked, like, if any other document classes can also be processed in the same way. And from a very, very top level, all of it is a simple process. You take a document, you extract data you need, you enrich it with more data, you move it to another system, and then you profit. And that's why we, for example, might look into something like smart delivery notes next. But in addition to a use case like smart delivery notes that we have identified to be interesting in the future, there are also already two other document classes that we can cover with smart data capture solutions by insiders right now. And the first one is Smart Order Confirmation. And this is obviously a solution that has something to do with the recognition of data from order confirmations and the transfer to an ERP cockpit to compare our own purchase orders with the supplier's order confirmation. And this is a standard software that is part of Insiders Technology's product portfolio, but this one has also been customized for our needs once more. And on the other hand, we also created something together that is very, very unique, I would say. And this one we call Smart Certificate. It's used for the extraction of chemical and mechanical material information from material certificates, plus an automated archiving of these documents for storage purposes. And when we received the request by our business colleagues, we sat down with insiders who immediately, they understood what we wanted, they understood our needs, and all of us together, we created a new product fitting our requirements. And as you can see, our journey with Smart Order and smart data capture solutions in general, and I mean insiders as a partner, I think it's far from over, but it's more or less just the beginning of a journey. So these are very good words, I think, to end the presentation here. Thank you all for listening to me or to Jana and myself for quite a while now. And by looking at the time, I'm not sure if we have time for questions or if we collect them and we will answer and get back to you after this meeting.
Thank you so much, Anna, for the presentation, and Jana. I think we have time for at least one question. So I would love to know from your side if the tool supports any different languages and what applications you can use it for beyond if you can use it for invoices, for example.
So maybe I just start to answer this question, and then Anna, you can jump in. So as I explained in the beginning, our tool is very flexible. This also is true for languages. So we have implementations of our tool in more than 80 countries, and we support all different kind of languages. So we're completely flexible there. And I think the question was also for Japanese and Chinese letters, because I know that's always a tricky one. But I can also confirm that we have some implementations in these countries and that we have no problems dealing with Asian letters. Yeah. And I think, Arne, what you might add for Thyssen is that we have already smart order in place for different countries and in different languages.
Right.
Yeah.
We have it in place, like in German, of course. In German, in French, in English, I think they are the most important languages here. We also have a Hungarian and Slovak language pack here. Our Dutch colleagues, they speak English and German, so there's a mix. But I guess Insiders has several language packs to be installed, so the software can be customized for the country that it is needed in.
Thank you both so much for your time. I do think that we will have to wrap up, but do you have any closing takeaways? And I do want to let people know that if they have questions, they can submit them through LinkedIn and ask Anna or Jana anything that they like through that way. But otherwise, if you have any closing takeaways.
Yeah, I think that's just a very important point. So we will come back to all of you. I see that there are a lot of questions popping in right now. So no worries. We will get in touch, and in case you need any more information or you want to get in contact, feel free. I'm more than happy to hear about your journey in the area of smart data capture.
Yep, absolutely. I can just say the same for myself and thyssenkrupp Materials. If you want to know something more about how we implemented this, we can get in touch and I can tell you, as far as I'm allowed to, how we did this and how we did the success journey together with Insiders.
Thank you so much for your time. To all of our attendees, I want to let you know that you can click the green Next widget for the next session, how Roche uses the power of data in fraud prevention, compliance, and process optimization. So if you're interested in going on to that next session, you can do so by clicking the green widget. I also want to remind everyone that there are some supplementary learning materials on the right-hand side of the screen that allows you to learn a little bit more about Insiders technologies, as well as see some of these great slides that were put together today. Thank you so much for your time, Anna and Jana.
Thank you.
You're welcome.